picture says 1,000 words, and what you are looking at here is the agony and the ecstasy of being a navigator in the Volvo Ocean Race. Some of those decisions going well, on other boats not so well, and the pressure is starting to show here on leg 2. There are some big decisions that these navigators have got to make because there's some big weather coming their way. Let's take a look at the virtual eye right now to see how this race is unfolding. Well, we are in the Southern Hemisphere. Cape Town is the finish line, but as of yet, there's a lot way still to go. Many miles of racing lie ahead. Sun Hunkai Scallywag and Turn the Tide on Plastic at the back, still locking horns. Team Axonabel, however, finally making a little bit of an easterly route, hoping to cut the corner, and compare that with Vestas 11th Hour Racing, setting themselves all the way up to the western side. So, we've got two teams setting themselves up on either side of the fleet as the 7 boats start to fan out. And we spoke to both Simeon Teampoint from Team Axonabel and Mark Towell on board Vestas 11th Hour Racing and asked them to comment on each other's strategy and what was going to work.
It's been a good battle with Brunel. You know, they've done a nice job at sailing in toward the top group a few days ago, and they've definitely shown, you know, a lot of good boat speed, and It's been a good battle. I think we've had a slightly different approach to them. You know, they're sailing a little bit of a higher course. I think they bear, what do they bear, 125, 128? So they're somewhere up here. You know, we're hoping that as it continues to lift, our position should only get stronger. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, are you happy with where you are?
Time will tell. You know, we're obviously a little bit closer to the coast, a little bit further away from this high pressure system. I think over the next 12 or 18 hours will be telling as to how lifted the guys inside get and how it all plays out. But we're optimistic about our positioning right now. The breeze is going to slowly lift, and the whole fleet's going to round up into this high, and everybody's going to have to jibe. And the people to the east, the boats to the east, should get that lift a little earlier. And we're hoping that by being a little bit further west, a little bit further away from the center of the high, the rotation will happen a little bit later for us, and we'll end up making some gains in the next day or two. We've seen AXO sailing a higher course over the last day or two, so it's been apparent that they're committed to that inside lane.
Yeah, the last 24 hours we sailed a little bit higher than the rest of the guys in front of us, and there's a bit of a lift coming in the upcoming days, and so everyone will come up anyway. And yeah, in the last 24 hours we just been a little bit more on the inside, and which we make some more miles and a few degrees higher, so we had a little bit more wind, and yeah, and basically gave us back a little bit more of a competitive position with the front guys. So I think now there's more or less 40 miles separation. And yeah, we try to keep on the inside of them and hopefully shoot a little bit forward when we can. If the wind does lift and the guys are coming up and they go a little bit slower, hopefully we can shoot forward a little bit. So that's the plan.
It should lift all the way to a 70. Yeah, dive on a 70. So and it should get a little bit lighter. So we'll probably put up a bigger sail and be sailing more true VMG downwind angles. That'll be the telltale sign, and then as we spear into the middle of the high, it'll continue to lift and probably drop a little bit in pressure, and then we'll all jibe out, and it'll all be about the positioning at that point, who's got the best rotation and what the angles are coming out of the high once we get on to starboard.
Yeah, so we're pretty curious to the next position report and see what those other guys had.
Well, obviously they've taken a very different approach to us. They're trying to cut the corner, so to speak. I don't know. It's a tricky one. If they're able to find enough pressure in there and the angle works out for them, they stand to make a big gain. But it is a risky move, and so I guess time will tell.
Yeah, we are pretty happy in the position where we are, and I think that's most important for us.
Simeon Teampoint, skipper of Team Axonabel, giving us his thoughts about what was going to pay. But don't just take their word for it. We've got Conrad Colman, round-the-world sailor. Conrad, what's your analysis on what's going to pay here?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because frankly, I don't know which way it's going to go. One of the tools that I've been using to explain it are the routing software. Yesterday I talked about how there's a new routing module that's in the tracker, so check it out. You can play this game yourself to figure out which way it's going to go, which boat's going to win. We're going to see what happens. Anyway, diggers, jump into the computer here. You asked me, how do you get from Brazil to Cape Town? Well, I asked Google, and I got an error message. Sadly, doesn't work. We're going to have to use something more specialized, like a little picture of a boat. To get a little bit of a background about how routing software works, we need to break it down. So, there's this thing called an isochrone, and that's a line that says that I could sail upwind, and after 1 hour I would get to this point. If I go on a reach, I'll get to this point after an hour, or I sail downwind, and after an hour I'll get to this point. So basically, this line explains that you could sail anywhere on this line in 1 hour, and then 1 hour later, well, you'll be here, you'll be here, and so basically in 3 hours time, you could be here, or you could be here, or you could be here. This is how routing software works. Now, the thing that's interesting is that if there's a lot of wind down here, and you're down here, well, your line is going to start to extend out, because with more wind sailing downwind, you go faster and faster and faster. Now, if we put that onto the South Atlantic Ocean, this is what it looks like. We've got those lines of equal speed or equal opportunity. Volvo Ocean Race is an equal opportunity employer. And it allows you to figure out which way you're going to go, which way is going to be fast. You can see where these lines get really compressed here, that's slow. Where they get really spread out here, that's fast. Now, this is where it all gets a bit tricky. I was working here with Sam Matson, one of the race experts, a little while ago, and we ran several options, looking at Dongfeng, Vestas, which is the orange boat, and Team AkzoNobel, which is the purple one. And you can see that setting themselves up further out to the east means that they're going to get closer to the high pressure zone that's out here. Is it going to work? Well, the computer says no. So I would prefer to be on Vestas 11th hour racing right now. If we go to scroll forward in time a little bit and look at where this analysis takes us, then we've got the route of AkzoNobel heading in towards that high pressure zone, and we've got Vestas 11th hour racing, the rest of the fleet, and crucially Dongfeng, the current leader on the water, down here. And look at what happens 24 hours later. This is what it's all about. This is the key moment. So put this down on your calendars. Sunday, November 19th at 0800 UTC. This is the key moment. You can see that the fleet is here. The boat is leading, and is going to be benefiting from all of this new lovely pressure coming down. If we zoom in, is the red boat. So presumably that's Dongfeng, with Matt Frey probably tucked in right behind. Vestas 11th hour racing and Team AkzoNobel have come together. The eastern option and the western option have come back together, massive convergence, and they are about 50 miles behind, I reckon, behind Dongfeng. So it looks like the southerly option is the way to be, and if you're going to be east or west, I'd prefer to be west at the moment.
Okay, so some interesting analysis there, and obviously useful for the sailors when they're out in the water, but also useful for you guys at home if you are playing the virtual regatta. Volvo Ocean Race and Virtual Regatta have teamed up, and you can race alongside everybody else following the race, as well as the teams out in the water. This is how the race looks like right now, and on leg 2 we have 70,000, or just about 70,000 boats out on the water at the moment. You can tune your boat, you can pick the right sails, pick the right angles, look at the strategy as well. Right now, I think the leading pack is along the African coast, which sort of flies in the face of what the Volvo Ocean Race sailors are doing. This is the leaderboard. Milo, I think, Neptune 50, Mirror Image. If those are you up in the top 5, well done. And we've got a little bit of a treat for you as well. We're all playing the game here, and some of us are not doing as well as we'd like, but that's not the point. But if you are out there playing the game, Musto have teamed up with us, and this rather snazzy Volvo Ocean Race jacket in your size is available for you to win. We've got some rather nice logos there. Got Musto on the side, looks rather snazzy. If you want this, all you got to do. We are very interested to see how everybody's playing the game. We know that some of you live and die by the position reports. Send us a picture of your setup, your rig. How is it you're playing the game? What we're looking for is something that makes us laugh. something to show you how mad you are about the Volvo Ocean Race. Send it in to us with this email address. It is dailyshow@volvooceanrace.com. Send us a photo, something that's going to amuse us about how it is that you are playing the game, and we will pick the best ones, we'll put them on the show, and we will choose a winner from that pile, and you get to have a Musto jacket, brand new, out of the wrapper, in your show. We'll be choosing the winner next Wednesday, so join us then. And we've got another show tomorrow. We've got the Quick Fix in the morning, and then another daily show, 1300 UTC. We'll see you tomorrow.